I think the best way to start a daily practice of reading the Bible, just lower the bar. Here's what I mean. I'll never forget when I was a kid. I read all the way through my first Bible. Now, it was, of course, a kid's Bible with lots of pictures, but that didn't stop me from feeling like I was on top of the world. I loved the Bible, and I was super pumped that I read it. But then I thought I'd try reading the real thing. So I opened up Genesis 1, as you do, in the beginning, and I started reading. And at first it was wonderful, if a bit strange. And then, boy, did I run into some weird stuff before I eventually gave up midway through the first book. So began my descent into a complicated relationship with the Bible for myself. On one hand, I really did love it, but I also really struggled to read it with any consistency. Now, plenty of that had to do with the fact that I had so much to learn about how to understand the Bible, but that's a different video. As I got older, though, it became really hard because I just felt like a fraud. Like I wasn't a really good Christian. I mean, I went to church, I cared a lot about the Bible, but I struggled to actually read it. And so I'd read it for a few days in a row, then I'd miss a couple days, I'd beat myself up about it for not reading enough or staying consistent enough. This cycle went on for years, until one day in college I resolved to make a shift. I changed my approach. I decided to start a Bible in 1 year reading plan from Bible Project. But this time, instead of dealing myself guilt and shame for not completing it in 1 year, or missing a day here or there, I decided I would just keep at it. Because I thought, even if it took me 5 years to get through it, over the course of the rest of my life, if I kept doing that, I would end up reading through the Bible, well, a whole bunch of times. And rather than beating myself up for missing a day, I started celebrating the days that I did spend time with God and His Word. I tried some other things that helped too. I started with the New Testament. I watched Bible Project videos that helped me understand each book as I was reading it. I even started listening to the Bible on my morning commute, which was really hard because I loved podcasts. Some days it was several chapters, other days it was just the verse of the day that I only saw because it was a notification on my phone. But guess what? I didn't complete the Bible reading plan in just 1 year. But I did complete it. And it also didn't take me 5 years. I think it was closer to 3. But even more than celebrating the fact that I finally read the Bible cover to cover, I unlocked something deeper. Eventually, I realized that I had read at least one verse from the Bible every day for hundreds of days in a row, but something in me had changed. God had set me free from the legalism of needing to complete a goal or just set a new daily streak. I was no longer proud of checking my Bible reading boxes. I just wanted to read the Bible to be with Him. And don't get me wrong, it didn't always feel good or easy. In fact, many of the days I would read and then my prayer was simply, God, what in the world was that all about? But over time, I began to love the Bible more and more, not for its own sake, but to be with my Heavenly Father. Friends, getting freedom in any area that feels important is like a huge win. But man, for me, this felt like getting a taste of new life with God. I felt more connected to Him, more grounded in truth, and more clear throughout my day. I wonder what God has for you if you were to start reading the Bible more and more. How would He reveal Himself to you? What good work might He do in you? And have you given up because you've set a standard for yourself that today's version of you just isn't ready for? Maybe you need to give yourself some grace, play the long game, and just lower the bar.